How do we get from the history of Christianity, part 1, which is Jesus' followers, dejected and defeated when he's captured? They believed that he was going to be the Messiah, that he was going to rescue the Jewish people from the heavy hand of Rome, that he was going to rise to earthly power, and then he died. That should have been the end of the movement. Movement over. And then, the history of Christianity, part 3, you have these very same followers who were too scared to even be present at his crucifixion, now insisting that they have spent time with this man after his death, and so confident that he is the God that he claimed to be, that they are willing to give their lives for him. We have accounts from the time. This is from Pliny the Younger. This is a governor, a Roman governor at the time in an area which is now northwest Turkey. And he would capture Christians and say, I ask them if they are Christians, and if they admit it, repeat the question a second and a third time with a warning of the punishment awaiting them. In other words, death. If they persist, I order them to be led away for execution. Those who walked the earth with Jesus went from being too timid and scared to even be present when he died to accepting their own deaths by torture and execution rather than deny that Jesus is God. And all they had to do was deny it in word. All they had to say was, okay, Pliny, I don't believe. And then they could go back to their homes and say, so sorry about that, Lord. I still believe in you. And just kind of go about their personal faith routine. But they couldn't. They were so utterly convinced that Jesus was who he claimed to be that they couldn't even dishonor him in that sort of way. How could these common fishermen and tax collectors transform from cowardly and defeated to the most courageous followers the world has ever seen? How could every one of them be so convinced that this dead man on a cross, Jesus, was worth dying for? It doesn't add up. Something happened. No matter who you are and what you believe, there is a huge hole in history between what should have been the movement-ending death of Jesus and then the absolute eruption of the greatest movement of all time, of Christianity. The Christian response is the miraculous resurrection of Jesus Christ.